Hi guys, we're back.
Hello.
Talking about the worst.
Please do not submit 45 Discovery episodes. Variety be the spice of the life. I mean, we did a recent episode this week, in fact, with the most legendary, and he didn't put Discovery almost anything.
What a surprise.
Yes. Best. This is a very clear best, right? No, worst. That was worst. Very clear worst. What are the thumbnail visuals like picture? What did I summarize the worst of Trek with?
Come along home. Threshold and Way to Eden. What the fuck? Threshold's not bad. The first half hour, 40 minutes are really good. It's the last bit where
look at that makeup. It's great.
Falls on its face.
I know, Stuart, but I'm trying to. The audience have feelings. You know, it's like during that time I included Rick Sternbach ship or something. He was like, "Hey, why is my ship one of the worst?" It's like, no, it's in Variety, Rick.
Oh, really? He called you out on that?
Well, he called out the page. It's like, Rick, no, Rick. It was like his academy fighter from the academy one. It's like, who's one of the worst? No, somebody. I don't know.
Poor Rick.
Sorry, Rick. We love you. Yeah.
I'm surprised he wasn't in Vegas, actually.
Yeah, I mean, they should all be always be in Vegas. Everyone.
Anyway,
yes.
Welcome back, guys.
Yes.
Now this is a weird one because as we rank them, the worst ones are going to be an S tier. And as they get better, or if they're good, they'll be an F.
Yep.
Because we're ranking worst.
Yep.
So it's going to be very confusing to people that come in after the fact, probably.
Yes. But, I mean, look at the thumbnail. Look at the name, right? It's all right there. Surely.
Don't call me Shirley.
Can you imagine how many people after that film came out were called Shirley, and that was a thing?
Yeah. My brother used to say it to me all the time growing up.
Right.
I say, Shirley, it's not. He's like, stop. Don't call me Shirley.
And you're like, it was the 10th time, and now we're in 300th.
It's still funny.
I really want that to come in 4K, which is such an unnecessary thing for Airplane to be in. But I want to see it in 4K. I want to see all those pixels.
Yes.
And yes, I'm mildly vamping while I get the first couple in, as you can imagine. Who is surprised?
No one. 23 of you here, though, which is great. 12 likes. Hit that like button if you're just joining us. This will be an interesting discussion for sure. As I said, the worst of the worst, the worst offenders will be an S. If they're bad, but not awful, they'll be an F. So it's a weird scaling. The better they are, the lower they are on the chart.
Yes, the least bad is going to be the lowest score. The best worst is the highest score, right?
I mean, yes. That's how that works.
I do think we need variety here. I'm really excited. Again, I always love these for various reasons. Mostly hang out with you, Stuart. Always a pleasure. But the contrast of judging is actually some ludicrousness of the past. Actually that bad. It's interesting. And also vanilla, right? Sometimes you can have, I mean, obviously we'll quantify as we go, but potentially just missed potential might also equate to bad. You know, what if an episode, I didn't do this, and this. For example, not to put ideas in anyone's heads, but the episode of Picard with the not Duquesne. It wasn't very good anyway, but like the annoyance I felt, right? That's a missed opportunity, and that's a measurement of being bad, right? If you could have done an easy goal and you missed it, that's a bad thing to have done when you could have done it well. Possibly.
Yep.
All right.
And Classic for Real says, I wasn't able to make it for the last time. I wanted to nominate Outrageous Okana as the best. Well, we are continuing our best episodes next week, so tune in for that. Classic for Real. Yeah. All right. Are you going to share this?
I am. See you in a second.
All right. I want to tell everybody, hit like. If you're just joining us, hit that like button. 24 people here, 17 likes. I want to get to 20 likes. Should be no problem at all. And yes, please do so. Also, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and hit the bell notification icon to all so you get notified when we upload. or when we do lives, because we do those a lot and we love doing them. So if you want to join us, please make sure you're notified so that YouTube will maybe notify you. It's YouTube, so probably not, but that's okay. Also, there is a join button down there, so if you join the channel on YouTube, it helps us out immensely. It's a monthly way to help us and support us, and we really, really appreciate that. Or you can head on over to Patreon/Trekyards. That is another way to support us on a monthly basis. And it all adds up. It all helps out, and we really appreciate it. Plus, you get your name in the title, in the credits and all that. It's a fun way to participate and be part of the channel. Have your name in lights, as it were. So yeah, do all the things. Also, liking the video, just hitting that like button is a huge deal. We are at 19 now. We're not at 20 yet, but I'd like to get there. So like if you have not done so. And also super chatting during these lives or super thanksing on edited videos helps out immensely as well. We love seeing a super thanks on an older video. We're like, oh, they really appreciated that. That's awesome. So if you really appreciate any of the things we do here, and if you can afford it, throw in a super chat or a super thanks. It's muchly appreciated by all of us. So, also the links down below to Teespring and TeePublic. You know the routine. Trekyards merch. Check them out. All right.
And guys, join me, and maybe Stuart, but probably just me, as in me and Marie, on Saturday for a special birthday Drunkyard celebrating Marie's 30th birthday, which is a milestone by anyone's metric. We have some fun sort of games and such planned. We might even do a ranking. I think that would be a lot of fun, ranking TV shows or designs that she's maybe not seen, but here we go. And certainly when Marie has a few drinks, she's much more lively, and it'll be fun. I probably would set up the like ranking uniforms, because she's been on a lot of our shoots. She's seen a lot of our actors in a lot of uniforms. It'll be interesting to see like how she ranks, and then she can play the you card of like, I hate this one, and I'm like, oh, I love it, I hate it. It's like D. Yeah, that could be quite fun. And like I said, we'll do some keg-based stuff, which will be really fun. You'll get a camera surprise. That's exciting. So it'll be earlier in the day, of course, as we for Drunkyards. 6 probably-ish, 6 GMT. So that's like 1 Eastern, probably, something around that. And yeah, join in, hang out, celebrate her birthday. We can talk about, and in fact, we did do the Harry Potter tour for one of our birthday presents, so we can show some images of that if you guys are interested. But obviously, you know, have us drink, have us celebrate, and have us do some Trekkie fun, because, you know, she's been in many things. And she's been in a film now. She's always been in the Cerritos film. And in fact, she helped save the galaxy in Prodigy episode 4. So, yeah. We can embarrass her if she's drunk enough to show that. And he'll be like, whoa! Because, you know, that took very convincing. But, you know, I'm quite convincing, Stuart.
Cool.
Okay. I'm going to ramp up these people suggestions as you jump into the first one.
All right. Well, we got Sussy Guru 2000 with €5. My nomination of the day is A Piece of the Action. Why? That is one of the best episodes of TOS. It is hilarious. I love it so much. There's nothing bad about this episode. Except maybe... Well, not even that. I was going to say... The effect of everybody getting stunned from orbit, I mean, that's kind of but it's also cool because it shows the power of phasers. There's nothing bad about this episode. It's absolutely awesome. Spocko and Kirko, and Kirk trying to drive a car, and my God, man, there's so much good stuff here. It's hilarious. It's not one of the worst of Star Trek. I'm sorry. It is. Are you sorry? It is one of the best of TOS. I'm not sorry at all, because I'm correct, and a lot of people will agree with me.
Exactly. You know, don't be bashful, Stuart. Just sing your own modesty down the drain. And say, "Ha! I'm the best."
Well, it's one of the best. So, and do we have the ranking screen on screen right now?
No.
Of course we don't.
Boom. I am trying to pick sort of bad thumbnails in the abstract, like something a bit silly. So. You know, it's a bit silly.
Yeah.
But isn't that the charm, right? Isn't that the charm? I mean, is there not... No, this is a general question. Is this one where they leave tech behind, and that's a slight plot hole / thing to deal with later?
It's not a plot hole. McCoy misplaces his communicator, and he thinks he left it behind.
Yeah.
Which turns into, in Worlds of the Federation, they use that technology to create like a Starfleet-like space.
Worlds of the Federation?
Years.
It's a book, I see.
Yes, that's what I said. There's also a comic that focuses on that, what happens, because they did leave a communicator behind. Anyway, very imitative people. They found this book about the mobs of Chicago, and the Enterprise shows up, and it's like it's Chicago. It's gangsters. Everybody's gangster. And yeah, it's kind of funny. It's kind of quirky, but I like the quirky, funny episodes. They're a nice departure from the more serious ones. And I think to see them play off type or be in a more comedic role is very fun for the actors, and it shines through in their performance. So in no way is this a bad episode.
Yeah, I've always really enjoyed this one for tone, texture, and flair. I'm happy to give this an absolute F, Stuart. Right down there at F.
It's absolutely awesome. F. Yeah, because that's how this ranking's working.
Right there.
Goes in S.
Lowest possible score, F.
Good way to start out. All right.
No, it's great. I don't know how you could hate this one.
Yeah.
I try to give slightly a thing about leaving tech behind, because you could argue maybe that's, bad federationing. But it's like, yeah.
But it works. It
does.
All right.
Cool. Our first F. Wait, is that the first time? Is that the first F we've got so quick? Maybe.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Dan Ben, though, £2. TOS shore leave. I find it boring, not exciting. I don't know if you're supposed to find it exciting. Again, it's one of those quirky, kind of funny episodes that takes a little bit of a break from the more hardcore stories. And what's not to like? You got a huge rabbit that is hopping around. You got girls in like skimpy outfits. You got some romance going on. You got
that's everything, right? That's all
these things coming to light. It's a planet that's a pleasure planet, essentially. It's big. It's a giant holodeck before there were holodecks. These androids are created below ground and they read the minds of the people, and they, it's fun. Again, this is probably starting off with another F.
So, I want to try and be fair to all these things. I would say this is a D, because
I was just going to say that, yes.
Because it does go to the extreme silliness. That is the point, but I don't think necessarily is 100%. Like, it could be done better. But I enjoy the episode. It's silly, it's fun, it's memorable, clearly. I mean, many of these visuals are like, oh yes, that visual. But it's certainly not a best or a worst. Yeah,
it's a fun deviation. And it's kind of, we learn a little bit more about Kirk with Finney.
A lot more about Kirk. That's an iconically dumb thing to include, and it's great, right? That's really good classic.
Yeah. So yeah, I would agree with the D. I don't.
And I want to slightly push back as well about a thing not being being boring. I got a recent call out about that from one of my fan films, because all they do is they do a character-based story, but that was the point. So clearly, they made exactly what they wanted to make, right? Therefore, yes, you might not like the style, but it doesn't mean it's a bad episode. It's like you can not like cop dramas. It doesn't mean they're bad, just you don't like cop dramas. So I think this is one of those, it might not be your cup of tea, but it is a good episode.
Oh, a lot of people have been nominating a lot of the court episodes for best Star Trek episodes.
Yeah,
and we're kind of like, well, we enjoy court. It's like, again, well written, well acted, but not really Star Trekiest of Star Trek episodes, so it kind of goes a little bit lower. So. Yeah,
but also there's a scale, because there are incredible versions of the courtroom, and there's the pretty damn good. So there's a slight gradient even within that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this will be a D. Don't know if you guys just didn't understand the assignment. We want bad episodes, guys. Bad.
Well, ones that
and
don't.
Subjectively bad to you guys, I'm sure. So.
Yeah, ones that don't necessarily fully work also is applicable.
Olivia Julius, $5. Disco, a Vulcan, hello. Probably not the worst of Disco. It was the first episode or two, and
I think the second one's Battle of the Binary Star.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Just the first part. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it had promise. Sure, it's some canon breaking things. With the ship designs and stuff, but honestly, as far as Discovery goes, this was like, all right, we don't know what to expect yet, so it's okay. And watching it back, there are a few interesting moments in it, but I don't know if I want to. Yeah, I think I know where I want to put it, but
well, it's an angering episode of Star Trek versus a bad episode of Star Trek. It's like a lot of stuff they did is super intentional, but they're just really bad choices. But they're not done bad. They're just like if that first scene with Takuvma was a real Klingon, it'd be a cool scene. But everything about it is meant to piss you off, right? The design of all the ships just piss you off. All that stuff just pisses you right off. Same thing, then Boom Down. Good scene if it's better characters and not written stupidly. Pisses you off, right? It's a good idea, but pissing you off sort of thing. I'm skimming through. Sets are terrible, of course. Stabbing the torchbearer makes no sense. That whole plot is broken beyond belief, so that's just wrong and stupid, and the suit's wrong and doesn't work. The Vulcan bullying, her radiation. I mean, it's at least a D, right? Because it's not... No, oh, no, no. Shit. Oh,
Other
God.
way.
Sorry, yeah, you got me there. Real-time hologram, Vulcan across the galaxy, again, doesn't work. Just, again, pisses you off. I'm going to give this one an A, I would vote, because there's so many bad things intentionally that are just wrong and broken and bad. But there's so much more worse episodes, but this is an intentionally screw you, Trek fans kind of thing. Now, if it's an alternate universe, these will be interesting, right? Oh, real-time holograms, cool, but it isn't. So, solid A. I wouldn't necessarily say high A, but a solid A.
Yeah, no, I would agree. Classic for real, $20. Kick Mark of Gideon and Code of Honor all the way to the top of the worst. Fully agree with Jonathan Frakes, who is an amazing guy in real life, that it's a piece of unwatchable garbage. And Mark of Gideon is just garbage. Well,
interesting.
You only put in $20. You named 2 episodes.
Yes.
So you can move. We can do 2 episodes and move them up 1 each.
I think that was the I think that's the intent.
Okay, so Code of Honor. I mean, that's just obviously an S, even without your bumping up money. This is a trash episode for multiple reasons. Hashtag Code of Honor. I mean, this was a thing on our channel.
Yeah, I'll drink.
Oh, I don't even have a drink. Shit.
Okay, hold on. Tasha's okay in the episode. I like the casting of everyone. I like the leader guy. I like the lady person. All well cast. They do a good job with what they're given. They're given crap, of course, but they do a good job with it. As I said at the time when I reviewed it, if they were blue aliens, this would not be racist. So because that's the only thing, that does not make it a bad episode because they were tone deaf at the time. They were not intending for it to be what we take it as. If it had been aliens, it would have been fine. So I'm going to take the episode not from a racist angle and just put on the episode angle. And it's not very good, but there are worse episodes because now it's considered racist, but not at the time it was. I'm not going to crucify it for that. I think Vulcan Hello tries to piss fans off way more by doing intentionally bad things on purpose. This doesn't do that. So I'm happy to give this an A, but I do not think this is in the same, like, this was a silly mistake, but could have been okay. Vulcan Hello is trying to do bad things.
It's just S, and even if you put it in A, which
that's fair.
S.
No, that's fine. But I would argue this was an A because there were definitely worse episodes of Trek that just fail. That's fine. That's my vote.
And Mark of Gideon. This one. This is intriguing. I don't like that the planet's so populated that they're pushed up against the hull of this fake ship that they put Kirk into, to the point where they're at the windows and shit like that.
Can that even make sense? Don't know. People being trampled all the time, I guess. Or is it like a bleachers in a school football field that everyone's standing on just to make that effect?
Well, I mean, the intention was to introduce a disease to the population. That's why they brought Kirk down and infected the daughter and all that. So it's not a bad story. It's just its delivery is a little bit. It could have been better. It could have been way better. But again, it was a quick wrap up on this one. So I'm willing to put this at a B personally.
So I've always enjoyed this episode, personally. I love seeing the sets devoid of people. It was really nice set shots.
That's a good point. Yeah,
which are super interesting. I think Shat has a great job carrying it. The lady's obviously naive and silly, but the reveal plays well. I love the idea of this being a fake ship. Then becomes a set. And I've always liked the visual of the people outside the window. That's really different, and it's a silly twist. I just give this a D personally, because I think it's fairly interesting. I don't think it's bad in any particular way, so I would say a D personally. I don't remember the script enough to say if it's a shit script, but from the story and what I'm both thinking about it,
pretty good script. Like, it's, you're wondering what the fuck is going on. I know he put in $5 to bump it up. I'm gonna put it at a B for now. Damn,
one of the worst episodes of Trek. Gosh. Hey.
Well, it's not an enjoyable one to watch, really, but
yeah, again, personal preference. I remember quite liking it. Hey, why we're a community, right? Interesting.
Yeah, let's see. Sussy Guru 2000, €5. Tuvix for the callousness of Janeway and the morale cowardice of the crew. This is a... you jump on this one first. I've been going first the whole time.
Tuvix, yeah. Good episode. Good moral story. I love the fact that she chose to save two of her long-standing crew members, one of her best friends on the ship, and a person who was so useful to the ship that he managed to single-handedly allow the computer to survive with its food rations well beyond the scope of the ship's deuterium. So Neelix, absolute savior of the ship in terms of what he was able to do, and morale officer. So amazing guy. And it's hard that they were combined into this very pleasant chap, but he, freak accident does not give you the right to override two people. Of course, Tuvok had wife and kids. It's not fair to let them lose their dad just because someone was accidentally made. So I have no problem with her. She's done way worse things as a Cisco. This is a really good episode. And the fact that it's so interesting makes it one of the most. If this had been in last week's, which I believe it might have been on the list for come up, almost iconic, this would be there because the moral story is so talked about that it's an iconic episode. So I don't think it's a bad episode at all.
I agree with all of that. Hashtag Janeway did nothing wrong. I wish they would have got a DNA sample of him to maybe bring him back in some form, some way in the future. But yes, saving two crew members versus one that just is, there's no. Yes, it's a little bit morally problematic, but at the same time, it's not. It's a simple solution to a problem that shouldn't have happened. So,
but it's also very, even without the personalness, it's very much the bus problem. One track, two sides. The bus must go on one of the two tracks. One track there's one baby, another one there's three adults. Do you either save a baby or save three adults? Either way, someone dies. Make a choice. So mathematically, if she saved two people, that's the right decision.
Yep. No, I agree.
Oh, I know, but even the simple version of it, just the pure math, and as nice as he is, and as pleading as he is, I don't think his wife would. I don't think Tuvok's wife would be okay with this when they got back. You let my husband die? No, we let a random stranger man live. Suing you.
Yeah, that's enough.
Oh yeah, F. I mean, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, classic for real.
No, Tony Todd, who plays Kern, does not play Tuvix. They're not the same actor. Not at all the same actor.
No. The literal entirety of Discovery Season 3 and Season 4 and maybe Season 5, even though Season 3 was so bad I quit watching halfway through and didn't even see any of Season 4 and 5. But that's what that makes Season 3 the worst. I don't even know how to... We're not doing seasons today. We're doing episodes, so I don't know what to tell you. Thank you for the super chat.
I mean, I'll put in Season 3 of Discovery, and then whether we rank it, I guess we'll put up 3. Because that's, not part of the game. Honestly, I'd give Season 3 Discovery a D. I enjoyed it plenty. In this ranking. If we
C or a D for it, probably.
It's one of the better Discovery seasons for me, so, But if we have to then, by 3, then...
I don't want to do seasons, though, because I don't want to set a precedent. So, sorry, Classic for real. We can't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we can't. I mean, because then everyone goes, oh, this season, all of Discovery, we're not going to do that. Today's episode's only, so
rank has been the foot of the rank has been.
And classic for real. We're not going to pick 4 random episodes from Discovery season 3. Then, if you want to name 3 in the chat,
yeah, please do.
We will.
Yes.
Sorry, some rules have to be made, and I'm sorry. Aussie, $2, and the saving not until Tuesday.
Cool.
Thank you. Tab Extra, 50 krona. Threshold, Star Trek Voyager. Now, I want to hear your thoughts on this one first, because I've waxed on about Threshold so many times.
I mean, it's iconic as all hell.
It is, yes.
It is thoroughly enjoyable for the science of it. B'Elanna and Kim are great in it. Paris is phenomenal performance in it. It's almost better ones, but it's super definitive. And the ending is silly. And the last, the premise of the end is silly, but it's rather good up until that point. So I like most of it, and it's then more of a sort of a laughable one near the end, with the context that you're kind of begging to bring back space babies in a future episode, because it's like such an interesting concept to be explored later. But it's a fine episode. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. A lot of good stuff in it.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I agree. And it's one of those things that suffers from a lot of the problem that a lot of Star Trek episodes have before they kind of went more serialized. When it's episodic, it's such a great story idea that literally the first, 3/4 of it are fucking great. But the last little bit falls down because they have to rush the ending. And it could have been better if it was extended.
Well, it's also, they put themselves in a giant hole of warp 10, end of the equation. How do we get out of this hole?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it suffers from the quick ending syndrome, unfortunately. And yeah, the stupidity of Janeway and turning into lizards and having babies is stupid. The ending, I agree, is absolute garbage. The rest of the episode up to that point is really good. It's really fun to see Tom devolve.
He's amazing in it. He's really good. That's one of his... The thing is, the fact that they premise this as this is their ultimate evolution of humans is ridiculous. Yes. That's the problem, because these are the Warp 10 salamanders, this is our end of their evolution. If they had just said there was like a microbe in the warp matter that was locked in and it made them evolve based on the Trekyardians of Alsec 7 that was in pattern buffer. Oh, okay, I get it. That small difference would change it entirely to be less stupid. This is a silly concept at the end. But, I mean, I wouldn't go lower than a D, because the ending is dumb, but it's a substantially good episode until the end, and that's, it's a bad idea.
I'd argue F, but...
No, the ending is dumb. It's a dumb...
The ending is incredibly stupid.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Bump it up to D. Okay.
Yeah. Unless you guys disagree.
Now, Classic for Real said Discovery Season 3, Episode 8, The Sanctuary, and then the $15 remaining to bump it up, however far that 15 goes. Okay. This was the last episode I saw of Discovery before I gave up once and for all. Okay, we'll get to
interesting. Once and for all.
We'll do that next, actually. We'll wait for Sam to find it.
Oh, yeah, this one.
I'm trying to remember Sanctuary.
One? Is it the one I think it is? Obviously, I'm trying to find the bit that I think is stupid. Okay. But that won't tell the episode, though. Okay, I'll put the bit that is fine, but there's a bit I think is stupider than that. But continue with the next one, Stuart. Will I continue on this?
Oh, okay, fine. Dan Ben, £2, DS9, Playing God. Is that this one?
Yes. The Trill Science guy.
Okay, yes, Trill Science
guy. I also don't remember. I do remember the episode, but not the storyline. In zipping through it, I had no memory of the main plot, which is a worrying thing, really, because you would think it would have more of an impact. Season 2, episode 17. Arjun. I do remember the name now, I've said it. While hosting her first Trill Initiate, Dax discovers a tiny, expanding proto-universe that threatens to destroy the Bajoran system. Forgettable? Is there a forgettable tab? Dan, why do you dislike this one? If that's the chap that put it in. Yeah, Dan, why do you dislike this one then? Because I can't think of why this is a terrible one.
Scrubbing through it. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, classic frill. Yeah, I mean, I remember this big guy being creepy. Sort of, I like his performance in that. I remember that being a thing. But
and also, he had a beef with Jadzia because he was in the Initiate program and got kicked out by Curzon.
Okay.
So he's got a little bit of a hostility towards Jadzia. That's correct. Okay. It's a really good Star Trek episode. The moral problems of a new universe being created, and there could be sentient life, and they have to stop it, essentially, is interesting. But I don't remember enough about it to really say that it's good.
That's a problem.
It is a problem.
And actually, DS9 is quite memorable. It's odd this one isn't reaching either of us. I mean, I can almost say C, out of respect to its forgettableness.
Yeah.
Which is weird, actually. Yeah.
I think that's fair. Sure.
In this chart, I think probably if we were actually rewatching it, we'd probably say it was like an L, right? So much lower, but this is kind of a... Yeah. This is Sanctuary. This is the first episode on Quajon when... See, already I remember more of this. I just skim it, but...
Okay.
Quajon, so she meets Booker's brother, half-brother, brother-in-law personage. And then, of course, you've got Adira and Stamets, who are pianoing together because Gray is memory revising. But Georgia is dying because of her anti-universe, whatever. And then turns out this brother of Booker is working with Osira, who comes to the planet and like says, "I'm going to change the deal to get more." And he's like, "Fuck you, bitch." And then she's like, "I'm going to bomb the planet then." And they put the force field on. And then, the bit I was going to remind you about, then Detmer and Oshkom go in Bookship and they fight the ship. And they're getting shot at every single scene. And their shields are at like 45% in the first 12 seconds, and they stay at 45% the rest of the firefight, which is ludicrous. And we complained of that because the whole fight is after the 40. It's like, but you keep getting hit. How are you not dead then? How are you not dead then? What are you on about? What's wrong with you? Yeah, but at least it was a space battle.
Yeah. So let's put it at C and then bump it up 3. I guess it's going to S.
I think this is a D just because I think there's nothing particularly wrong with this episode. I like Booker a lot in it. It was good to see Quajon. I remember Saru was a good captain in this. Yeah, I think there's nothing particularly wrong with this episode. I like Asari quite a lot, so I would say a D, and that's being kind of mean to it. Personally, I don't think
bump it up to A, okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with it.
I don't remember it enough to really talk about it, so kind of erased a lot of Discovery stuff from my brain. Because I had to watch them 15 times each and then talk about it a couple times. And
maybe hit the wood guns.
There you go. Hope you're happy, Classic for real, for making us relive that.
But this is even more sad. Oh, weird. This is a sadder one because we now know that Booker's planet got effed and everything about it died. So this is
Yeah. Mark Lawrence, $5. DS9, let he who is without sin. Worf and the fundamentalists are just plain dumb in this episode. Rise is a vacation planet, and I don't like it. Leave. Yes, I also hate that one. I don't have a screen cap for it yet, though.
Oh, I need to
pull up.
That's not loading.
Yeah, I'll talk about it while you're doing it. This is Jadzia and Worf decide to go. Well, she drags him to Risa for a vacation because she thinks he needs one. He doesn't want to get out of uniform, and you got the fundamentalists who want to stop the weather machine on Risa and have the inhabitants experience what Risa's weather's really like.
Yeah,
and Worf is backing them, and yeah, that's the way it should be. Yeah, it's not really that bad. It kind of annoys me a little bit. But honestly, I mean, you get to see a lot of Risa. This is where Jadzia and Bashir break up as well. but they go on this one last vacation together, and Worf doesn't understand that. So when he sees them with different people, he's like, "Well, they're dishonoring each other." So he's just a grumpy. He's me in this episode, but unfortunately, I disagree with him this time. So. Anyway, yeah, that's what this one's about. It's not that bad, honestly. It's just not one of my favorites.
I remember this for its absolute memorability of what the hell is... This is such a weird thing, but the fact that this is pretty much a one-off seeing Risa as a fully committed storyline, if I recall. Maybe there's a second one where she's...
You do see Risa like 3 times, I think, in DS9. But yeah.
But like a full episode on it, like this is the plot. So it's really refreshing that
This
regard.
one also has Vanessa Williams as a guest star.
Yep, that's why...
Friend of Jetsia. Yeah.
No, wasn't it used to be Girlfriend?
Yeah.
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 I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I mean, I don't remember it enough that it's the sub stuff, and this is a fun picture for various reasons. I mean, look at his arms. I mean, yeah, I'll give it up to you, Stu. Is there anything wrong with this episode? I mean, it's a fun concept.
No, just worse stupidity, and it just irritates me. And the whole the group of people that wanted. I don't understand.
I would say F because I don't remember disliking anything about it because it's the worst. So I would say F, but that's up to you guys.
I'd say probably a D, personally.
Sure. Yeah.
It's not. Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of good moments in it for sure that kind of take away from the annoyance for me. So,
right. We're happy to change it up.
Something like that.
Yeah, really eclectic list here.
Yeah. Okay. Olivia, $5. The episode where Wesley almost died stepping on flowers. Yes.
Justice for Zaheel and for Wesley. Do you like my shot?
Yeah, it's great.
I think it summarizes why the episode's not good for other reasons than just the content.
I probably would have focused on, a woman's body instead of a man's legs.
This shows how dumb it is, though.
That's your decision.
Yeah. It's dumb. It's dumber than a woman's whatever. This is dumb. I'm waiting for dumb.
It is stupid. He breaks the law without realizing it, and then it's the whole thing of, oh, well, he's broken our law. Well, we can't...
We gotta kill him!
We can't impose our rights on him. He needs to go through your... Fuck off. That just annoys the shit out of me. Just get your fucking crewman back and leave. Fuck. It's just dumb. It is dumb. It just frustrates me to no end. So, sorry. There you go.
So, I love the basic elevator pitch, right? Everyone is there's no crime because they created some arbitrary stupid system a few hundred years ago. That means anyone shouldn't commit crime or they might get killed because it's this figment of non-justice. Well,
there's a god in orbit.
Well, yeah, that's last act. I mean, until yeah. I'm saying the sci-fi bit, the initial bit, is an interesting concept. The fact they take it to this. Although it is equal opportunity nudity, right? It's very fair, in fairness, and Riker at least has sex with 2 people. They all get laid. I mean, several times, I'm sure, in this first half an hour. But everything about it is dumb, and it's definitely like a 60s idea, but done worse. Like, this would have been a better TOS episode. And I can't hear you.
So, yeah, it's totally TOS.
But they would have done it better in TOS. I don't know. Maybe the censoring of it would make it better. But this, I feel they must have, some of them, like, people on set would have thought, this isn't going to go well, is it? Like knowingly, this isn't going to go well.
To me, this is an F. So... just annoys me. It irritates me to my core every time I watch it. It's so frustrating.
An F, so one of the not worst.
Oh, sorry, an S. I did the same thing you did. This is a fucking S. Any situation where it's like, our crewman, well, we gotta let the fuck off. Just get your goddamn crewman back on your ship in safety, then deal with things.
Or don't, because they can't get you.
Yeah, exactly.
What are they going to do? Naked themselves up to space? I would say it's a very strong A because I think it's tone deaf and dumb, but there are worse episodes. Yes, but this is real bad. But there are worse, and I want to give. Remember, I didn't put the Code of Honor's S. So there is, say, a level above that's worse to me. Somewhere.
Name one.
Don't know, we'll get there.
The Child?
That's not good.
Shades of Gray is probably an S.
See, it's interesting.
The Child is fucking garbage. I hate The Child. I want to put this as an S, personally.
Okay, I tell you what. Okay, let's make a deal, Stuart. If there's one episode that I think is so much worse than everything else, like by absolute, if one appears that I can't think of, then we'll move everything to between S and A and make that at top.
It's contrast. We always say that. So
okay.
We got to slot it somewhere.
Okay,
I want to put it S.
Okay,
it's garbage.
Okay. Currently, it's as bad as Code of Honor in different ways.
Yes.
Yeah. But
so is Angel 1.
Well, but like I say, okay, I'll reserve the right to make an addition at the end if there's a. But yeah, currently these are the worst episodes of Trek in this list. I will agree in that context. Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Victory.
Is life?
Sure. 51 people here, 35 likes, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't already. I want to get up to 50. That should be easily doable if you're just joining us. By all means, hit the like button. And
if you're confused, then just read the title carefully.
The very worst go at S. Yes, it even confused me there for a second. Okay, well, let's see. Tab Extra throws in 20 krona. Sub Rosa, that one scene, A+. Now, I remember very little about this, except that she and her grandmother died, her nana, and she inherited her cottage and then got mind controlled by a ghost, if you will. And there was this green flame that kept the ghost or the alien live and connected, and it kind of fed off their life force. That's why her grandmother was in love with this thing, and it basically drained her life force over the course of her life. It's an interesting idea for an alien thing, but honestly, there's very few things I remember about it. We haven't got to reviewing it yet. So the scene, yes, the scene. Sex with a ghost scene.
So I've never actually seen this episode in any meaningful way. I know I've seen clips, but I'm guessing, when you're a kid, if the parents aren't binging TNG every episode, they can pick and choose what they want to watch. If one parent skips it in your first watch when you're a kid, you never end up seeing it. And I've actually, once I knew that, I've saved that for Trekyard so we can review it first time, because that's a very unique thing. But it's a terrible idea. I know everyone hates it, so I'm going to say S, because I felt this should be this was giving the experience of later TNG to make something this bad.
Yeah.
This is knowingly you made a fuck up, so this should be S, I think.
She voluntarily resigns from the Enterprise because Picard didn't want to let her hang out at her grandmother's house, and so she quits Starfleet to do it. And I don't remember if there's a B plot. I mean, it's like season.
There's a D plot.
Season 6. It's either season 6 or 7. So it's after TNG got really good. So for this one to kind of slip through and not be that memorable, plus I don't remember if there's a B or a C plot. There probably is, which might be good, but it's overshadowed by this. So yeah, I'm happy to go S with this one.
Yeah, I think this one iconically bad. Because they should have known better as part of this rating, right? Because they had to get through all the stages of production with something this bad an idea. Like The Child, right? These are things you should just know and stop. Code of Honor, they didn't know was that bad until after the fact. At least the people who made it physically. Hindsight, right? Actors, who knows what they really thought on set, right? Don't know.
All right.
Good set so far.
Dan Benno is next with £2. The Trouble with Edward.
S.
Yeah, retconning all of the Tribble stuff. Although that being said, it had some laughy moments.
It did, but at making fun of Trek fans. This is actively mean to us. It was trying to be mean.
Show me on this episode where it hurt your feelings, where it touched you inappropriately.
The bit with the TV. Just the bit with the... Yeah, I mean, it's a really fun idea until you watch it. But it's on the best Discovery space shots, ironically, because they were clean and crisp.
It does. Yeah, I remember that.
Just nice and clean and... And it's so sad for this guy. He's a really good actor in Archer and Archer and Archer. And this is a very memorable role for him, but it's the worst fuck you. And you just can't take it seriously, because it's not the canon of Star Trek as this guy. The fact that the captain is so awful. And she's a Hollywood actress. She bullies him so hard for being obviously Asperger's and all that stuff. Yeah. Yeah. She bullies him, and she's rude to him, and she's so horrible. And again, yeah, and the hard cut to Barclay and the carefulness that the captain, she's awful. She should have been fired. And yeah, see, for me, this is worse than Code of Honor and Justice, because it actively says fuck you. This is worse than those three things by a good mile. This is worse. So I would worse than Code of Honor, because they knew what they were doing. I'm just saying, for me it's worse.
Next is Olivia with $5. I know how to play this game. The Children of Mars.
The other short trek, the Picard one, with not a single line of dialogue until the end with the announcer, I believe. Because that's exciting. And it's like, how can we make the cheapest thing possible? We'll do this.
Oh, yes. Can't the parents just beam back from Mars?
Yes,
they should
can.
be able to.
Yes, they can. But she hasn't seen her dad in 3 months, despite it taking less than a minute to beam back and less than a minute to beam there. The person who wrote this hasn't watched Star Trek. Like, it's that sort of...
Yeah, that's an S.
Yeah, it's an S. It is that bad. Now, it's shot nicely, the acting's good, but it ruins so many different concepts and logicality. And also the fact that it was sold as this big Picard prequel, but it's the same clips that they use in the show, which means there's no value added. And it doesn't really do much to add to the, like, okay, people are sad. It's like, yeah, I mean...
And Discovery ship assets in dry docks.
Mm-hmm.
Let's never forget. Never forget.
Yeah. I'm not just sad, I'm disappointed, you know? Yeah. And it's funny, because I've done more and more interesting things for Trek shorts on less money. You know? Like, these are their super low budget, like, probably a few tens of thousands to make. But yeah, having a school bus be a Discovery shuttle is like, but it wouldn't be. So, you're wrong. Why is that a thing? Oh, because we're saving money. But you're wrong. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Tab extra. 50 krona. These are the Voyages Enterprise.
I'll let you jump on that while I put the other ones in.
This is actually a really great episode for recreating the TNG sets, bringing back Riker and Deanna Troi. The only way it falls down is it shouldn't have been a season finale nor a series finale.
A franchise finale, actually.
Well,
even so.
Then it actually gets a few more points for tying it together with like TNG and kind of making it more franchisey. So, as a mid-season episode, this would have been great. Don't kill Trip. That's the other thing. But honestly, this isn't that bad. If you can look past Trip dying and it being the season or the series finale for Enterprise, it's pretty enjoyable. The fact that they went to the trouble of recreating some sets, tying it in with the TNG story that adds another layer to the TNG story with the Pegasus. There's some interesting stuff going on there. And bringing back Riker and Troi, I mean, that's my 2 cents. But what do I know?
We ask that every day.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, they've literally apologized this episode. The producers, the directors have actually apologized this was made, because at the end of the day, its worst mistake is it's a disrespectful nod. It's a disrespectful thing to the Enterprise series. The fact that you think they
thought they were doing something good for the fans, and they misjudged.
They were thinking big game, big picture of all the franchise, but they entirely rudely destroyed Enterprise's respect. I know even the actors were like, "Oh, this is our last episode, is it?" Great. But yeah, if this is a mid-season 2-parter to let you have more fun. This would have been like, you really paid all that money to these guys back. Super cool. Thank you. That's awesome. But you didn't do it well. And even if they, like, the irony is, had this been the actual season finale and series finale, but had you had the so you know, it's in segments, had the 4 before this been a really solid Enterprise arc that finishes all the main arcs, like finishes the story.
Yeah.
They're thinking, oh, one last episode, and then it ends up being a TNG episode where they like love fest the show, where they see that so it isn't about fucking Riker, right? It's about the Enterprise, and it's almost about the fact that it's about Riker wants to go see the Sign of Federation Charter. Like, celebrate what Enterprise did, celebrate what the crew did, not fucking his Pegasus thing. Fine for mid-season, but not for the end. Then you could have had this amazing, like, he was the best, bravest man in all Federation. I want to shake his hand. Shakes hands. That's a moment. That's beautiful to end with our best characters, whatever. But everything about that doesn't work. So what are we judging, right? Legacy, quality, story.
Well, it's enough because it's a good episode. Just there's a few flaws with it.
Trip
dying and it being the finale.
Disagree in that also because we jump forward. There's no space shots of the NX. The uniforms are not a good addition. The chef scenes are wasteful, as in they're not very good. And also the fact that Trip and T'Pol are confirmed not to be together is a shame as well. So I would say a C on this at the very least, because it does lots of bad things. General story.
Can we agree on D?
If you want, but I think it's definitely worse than that. But that's fine. But I mean, you know, I'll be fine with that. But I think it's definitely worse than that.
That was a fun one to watch.
Yes. Because the irony is they aren't intentionally damaging it, but they do. It's kind of the opposite of Discovery stuff, where they know they're pissing fans off. They are trying to do the opposite. It's just it's probably one of the most tone deaf episodes where they do not see what they're doing. The end's great though.
See, in comparison, I like Threshold and this one. I'd watch them both. Yeah. I'd rather watch this one than the DS9 one with Worf and the Weather Machine. But I also love Shore Leave, so
But it's not a serious watch, it's just overall quality. This does many things wrong, but it does many things fun.
You waxed all poetic about them recreating the sets of the Enterprise D. That means nothing to you here.
And then we waste minutes of him in the chef's clothing talking to people about who the fuck cares.
But that's a fun little, hey, this was Chef, because we never got to see Chef or know his name, so it's kind of fun. I don't know.
It's just, if you're doing a special crossover, don't waste time on unimportant things overall. And again, don't kill Trip. Just so many stupid things.
Shay Harris. Dang, y'all's opinion on Tuvix is disheartening. It's not okay to murder someone to save others. You're bringing back people that have been a service to you and friends of yours for years. Like I said, you can bring them back, also get a sample of Tuvix's DNA, and reconstitute him in some way in the future. They didn't do that, but no one's ever going to agree on this fucking episode. It's Janeway did nothing wrong, honestly.
Well,
it was a hard decision, but it was made.
I mean, Shay's arguing it's okay to murder 2 of your crew members to save a new life form that never was born. Because not saving them is murdering them, because you had the choice to save them. So, I'm not okay murdering 2 of my good friends for someone I don't know. Because with the transporter, it's sci-fi tech, the concept of life and death. I mean, you can easily argue, it's like, for example, if you get beamed and the pan buffer fails, like, you've sort of been killed. In the sense of you are now a energy reading in a transporter. Like, you're not living, but you're not dead. The transporter kind of changes the game when it comes to what is life and death. Like, was Scotty alive in the pattern buffer for 100 years, or was he static? Right? These things modify what things are.
I'm going to move. These are the Voyagers up to sea, just because Tab Extra put that in his super chat as well.
Okay.
I disagree, but
that's fine. Hey, I disagree with the Code of Honor as well. So we're doing well, Stuart.
Oh, I didn't bump Code of Honor up there, though.
No, I know, but I'm saying it's to the people. Yes.
Dan Ben, $2. Voyager The Fight makes me want to fall asleep. Yes. And I gotta say, I don't remember a lot about this one. Just that there's Chakotay.
Fake boxing.
Yeah. Alien influence thing. And his spirit board or whatever.
Accoutrement. It's always accoutrement with him.
So I don't remember it well enough. So.
Thing is, I remember liking it. I like the concept. I liked it being a Chakotay episode. That's nice because it's infrequent. I liked the visual of this. I skimmed it. I remember him going crazy and he's like his brain is being filled by a creature, something or other. Like it's that sort of vibe. Like, I mean, give it C because we don't remember it enough. That's we've used that definition before, Stuart. But I think it's not a bad episode. Unmemorable is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just it hasn't whatever. So I think C by definition. But yeah, I mean, I remember liking it. But I don't remember necessarily what, why, how, who. But you have to be memorable, right? That's memorable. Well, I have to, but you know. Matthew.
Classic for real, $5. Will it work if I just say the very concept of short treks, period? If not, then Picard Season 1, Broken Pieces. Yeah, no. Short treks actually was a fantastic idea to give us some little filler things and use the sets they already had and kind of save some money. I thought it was great. I wish it would have continued.
Until you saw them, though.
Well, one or two of them I don't mind.
Oh, indeed. So, 1 or 2 out of, like, 12. Well,
I'm just saying, it's not a bad idea, so I'm disagreeing with Classic for real.
I know, and I kind of nicked the idea and did it myself, but without the reuse of the set part or the cheap part.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember this episode, Stuart?
No. She's fucking lying on a bed. She's been on a...
She just told Picard that she murdered Maddox.
Oh, good God.
Remember? That's why it's important. She murdered the guy. And we're like, oh God, really? So in this episode, it starts with the Jacques Vache around a spinning circle thing as this ancient order. They summon the memories as Commodore O gives them memories. They all go, they scratch their eyes out and their brain out and butcher each other. And then she's okay and says, we must stop this, we will. And the other lady goes crazy. Then she's crazy as a Borg assimilated to kill the cube, blah, blah, blah. And then Elnor runs in and stabs somebody and Seven's there. Then Soji's there. Oh, and then she talks to the Admiral who's sort of apologizes, but not really. Oh, and then Seven becomes a queen? No, Seven does Seven regens the cube because that's a fun idea. And there's all ticks over the cube, which is a dumb idea. And then Picard talks to Soji about Data, saying how much he loved him because he loves him. He's very much loved the guy. Yeah, totally. That's at the end. And then the Council of Rioses. That's that one where Raffi talks to all 4 of them. And then she confirms she killed Maddox, and Picard's like, "Fuck you, bitch!" And she's like, "But I had to kill him because I saw the thing." And then we learn about the story about the other Soji killing his crew, Rios' crew, and then Borg Queen 7 probably, and then something.
So S is what you're saying.
No, I mean.
Okay, I don't know where to put it.
I mean, it's okay. But, yeah, I mean...
While you think about it, I'm going to reclass it for reals. It's kind of sounding like the writers they have for everything but Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks specifically somehow just royally suck. And Prodigy. Obviously, you've never seen Prodigy, because it's the best out of those two that you listed there. It's above Lower Decks and Strange New Worlds as far as quality goes. So. Sorry. Where do you want to put it?
Okay, B, because the Rio stuff is really rather good.
You get to see his former captain and his ship.
Yeah. The acting, like it's a dumb idea, but there's a lot of scenes in this. Like I'm skimming, so much changes and happens, but same shitty sets, same shitty lighting. But yeah, Rios really saves this one. As Raffi's pretty good, and there's a lot happens narratively wise. God, season 1, man, what a fucking mess.
Yeah, that's about right.
Thanks for making me relive that, guys.
Yeah.
I had to do that for you.
49 of you here, 44 likes. Hit that like button, guys.
Goodness.
Let's get those likes up. Oh, by the way, there is a poll. Go vote on the poll.
Yes.
Which episode is worse? Code of Honor, Threshold, or Tuvix? Go vote. We have 48 votes. We have to get it closer to 100, whatever, 80 something. I don't know. Classic for real, $2. $2 to say Stewart is right about Janeway and Tuvix. There you go. Thank you. And Sam, he also agrees. Matthew DeFreitas, $5. Has anyone done the Way to Eden yet? If not, let's do that one. Yay, brother.
Where Spock is a musician.
Dr. Severin wants to go to a planet that is paradise, essentially. He's got a bunch of space hippies that...
Oh, did Space God call him? Because that's where they're going, paradise.
I mean, maybe.
That would be an interesting
twist. The space hippies from the 60s, really bad music, really bad costumes. They arrive at Eden and, well, they steal a shuttle and arrive at Eden and land and die because the grass is acid and everything's awful there, and it's a real awful place. It looks beautiful, but it's not. It's actually deadly. So, and Spock, Spock, for the love of God, Spock's like, we reach. Yo, I understand what you want. It's bad. It's funny, the main hippie there that is playing the instrument, here he's a space hippie, doesn't want violence, doesn't want anything, just wants to live in peace. And he shows up again in Deep Space Nine in Little Green Men as like a 3-star general for the U.S. military, which is the exact opposite end of the spectrum, a warmongering admiral. I think it's hilarious. Anyway, this is bad. Is what this is. This is worse than Spock's brain. Spock's brain at least has a pretty interesting idea.
His brain is gone.
Brain. What is brain? It's a better concept than this. And this really shows its age and the time it was made, just with all the hippie bullshit. So, yeah, for me, this is an S, personally.
And that really messed me up with, like, structurally a second. Is like, what? With an S? Yeah, I think this is famously bad. I do remember seeing this when I was young and thinking, is this a joke? Because it feels like a joke. Was it a joke? Like, did they try to make a sort of a satire? Because I can't tell. Yeah, I think, Stuart, this is so famously bad that needs to be on the famously bad subset of the list. I think this is an S. I mean, probably a good idea if you really brutally, like, compress it down to space hippies, take over Enterprise. Okay. But then you could have interesting space hippies or space hippies where the art style is more interesting and not as stupid. I don't know. You could make it interesting, probably, but... Can't hear you.
Good, because I don't want to read the next one.
Oh.
Olivia Julius, $5. On the Path Once More by Power 543. Just kidding. But if you want good fan-made films, check out Sam's Short Treks.
That's me.
Go check out his Short Treks.
But we can review it. Should put the money in and I put the thing on, because it's a Star Trek episode. It might not be a real one, but it's a Star Trek episode.
Which one is this?
It's the 5th episode. The one that the last of the batch.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Well, I'm not going to spoil what happens in it. Suffice to say, this is the IKS La'an chasing the Protostar through asteroid field, getting closer to dominating them.
So it's an F. Sweet.
Yes, this is quite a good episode. A lot happens.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lots going on in this one. It's fun. Do go watch it. We have 5 episodes out of this Prodigy content, plus around 18 other shorts for various styles. Go check it out.
Yeah, I just haven't got around to watching it yet. Sorry.
11 minutes, but okay, it's fine.
It hasn't come up in my recommended. I didn't know it was released. I didn't watch it. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. Relax. You don't watch any of my videos. It's fine. Moving on.
Belong Home. Did that come up? What?
Not yet. Tab extra, 50 krona. The Naked Now, season 1, episode 3. I say D. Drunk Data. Okay, this one gets some, or at the time got some flack because it's like we don't need to reference the first Star Trek in our new Star Trek. Like it's a literal callback to the Naked Time, and the same virus and everything. Even pull up records of the Enterprise computer and Dr. McCoy. Blah blah blah. But is it bad? It's a good sequel to the TOS one, I think, and it'll always be remembered for this love affair and people naked in rooms and Beverly hitting on Picard and him grunting like a horse. So there's a lot of good stuff here, but yes, as a it's not the best in the grand scheme of things. Kind of using TOS as a crutch a little bit, it seemed anyway. Yeah.
But we love Intima Darkly because it used TOS as a giant crutch. The biggest crutch. Way more of a crutch than this.
Not really, but okay.
Oh yeah, because they remade the TOS sets, and the whole same episode takes place on TOS sets on a Terran Empire ship. There's also a TOS. Huge crutch. This is just the same thing they find and then do it entirely differently with an entire new style plot.
One's a crutch. One's an actual like good story. So.
Oh, as well, but it's crutching on the TOS colony. It could have been another ship, but it used love. Anyway, now this episode, this is a very much a. If it was made in season 7, it would have been better. Same concept, because they would have had the experience of the characters, and some of these interesting choices wouldn't have been made that way. Now they're interesting. I mean, that's Tash looking kind of great, and her stomach is absolutely amazing. Good for her. But the Wesley stuff is weird, kind of fun. The Asian chief engineer guy, whatever, again, kind of fun. Or the guy, there's fun stuff in it, but it's daft. I love the start, seeing another Federation starship. Those custom sets with the snow effect, whatever those are great. The ship like blows up, whatever, the Miranda, and then the end there's no birth. Like really kind of fun stuff. I think they go to the bridge and there's like a hatch that's opened or something. I don't know. There's a few episodes like that.
Yeah, they were blown out into space.
It's actually kind of a fun intro, but this is a season 1 doesn't do it justice, unlike Justice. There are some good ideas here. The other TNGs and the rest are bad ideas. This, I would say, is a B? Because it's cringe, but it's not bad. Maybe C? Yeah.
I'd say D.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the cringe is cringy, but yeah, I'm trying to be put there for a reason. Yeah, I'm happy with a C or a high D.
Looking back in retrospect, compared to everything else in TNG, it's not great. But
it's one of their worst, but not because it's bad, because it's not good.
Yeah, at the time it was kind of, this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I mean, this setup, Beverly and Picard's steamy relationship, pretty heavily, with a great little scene. They're loving acting there. You can kind of tell. And the what does Troy call Riker?
Imzadi.
No, is it Jim? Remember, she called him one catchphrase, one nickname.
Oh yeah, she does.
I think it's Jim.
Remember. Something like that.
It's like, huh?
Or Bill. She calls
Bill.
him Bill.
Is that? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Jim. Yeah, Bill. Yep. Yeah.
I forgot about that. I didn't know that was this episode, but yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's weird for various reasons. But yeah, there you go. Crazy, but not bad. Just not good.
Yeah. Laughable Larry throws in $5. I stopped watching you guys for a year, then I come back and you're still in the 60K subs. YouTube really hates you guys. Underappreciated channel. Yep.
Good.
You're not wrong. It's an algorithm thing, and it annoys us, but that's okay. Welcome back.
Hi.
Sorry you stopped watching us. We were talking about Discovery, probably.
Yeah. We did, but if you've not checked out, you can go back and look. We've got so many things to enjoy. People
don't like balance in discussion. They like either hate or like total shill praise. So
yeah, it's a flaw in how people watch, and there's no breasts on the thumbnails or cleavage, I should say.
It's true.
We could try, but we would fail. But yeah, still doing our thing. We've done at least another 80 ships this year. 50 ships, you know, a lot of ships. That's what we do. So, yeah, done our thing.
All right, classic for real, $5. Someone just has to say that Stuart's other channel is great and worth watching. Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Also, Enterprise Season 3, Episode 17, Hatchery. Underrated for how terrible it is. Okay, this one is kind of fun. I like the idea that the Xindi kind of... the eggs imprint on Archer, and he wants to take care of them as like a protection mechanism for the eggs. I think that's fantastic. But yes, it is an odd one. It's not super enjoyable for me to watch, but I wouldn't say it's awful in the realm of Enterprise. I like the idea. Was it executed well? Yes, I think it was, actually. There's some creepy visuals for sure, and Archer's acting is fantastic. Yeah, that's what I got for this one.
I can always tell, like, we know each other's body language. I can tell your brain thinking, I disagree with this being of the list, so I'm going to try and say things.
It's one of my... It wouldn't be on my top 10, let's put it that way.
But most things wouldn't. That's why they're a top 10. I like this episode. I think it's a really interesting concept, and Scott Bakula fully commits. I love the pacing, the fact that you know what's going on, because you see the splatter right at the start. I didn't even skim this. Like, I remember this episode, like, versus the DS9 one. Sorry, but this is quite memorable for me for various reasons. There's a great shot of a crashed Xindi ship, which we've never seen it clearly, so that's really fun. They go in, the set's good, they get and then throughout the episode it gets more progressively more whatever. And it's a great moment. He says we're gonna move our deuterium, which we know as Enterprise fans is super hard for them to get, and they put it down to this to keep it going. And Trip's like, Captain, you want to give our limited deuterium to baby eggs till they don't die. We've got a plan to save, and Trip, we can't kill innocents. Tuvix, we can't kill innocents. And it's like, but we'll be run out of fuel in like a week, and then we'll all die. It's like, yeah, but and then you have to mutiny and shoot him.
Yeah.
I would say this is an F. I think this is a strong Enterprise episode. I agree.
Sam's dying. Just ignore him. It's fine. Maybe he won't come back. All right. Yeah. Moving on. Benjamin Stone, £5.
Thank you.
Why tell Tuvix about the decision? Throw him a party, hypospray him in the night, save him going through all that anguish before walking into his death. No, that would be even more wrong. I think it's perfectly appropriate to tell him. Plus, he's got the memories of both Neelix and Tuvok, so I disagree. That's worse. That is literally murder. This, at least, he knew what was happening. So, I disagree.
That is a very interesting sub-point. And for some reason, it reminds me of the concept of... I remember seeing this in a doctor... therapist, like a online TV therapist scene, which obviously is TV, but whatever. And they said, in a marriage, like, the husband cheats. And he said, I want to tell my wife. And the therapist says, is that for you or for her? Because telling her he cheated is only going to make you feel better because you've put off your guilt. She's going to feel worse for it, and you've gained nothing. So Tuvix, telling him you're going to murder him doesn't help anybody, but it makes you feel better for telling him, but actually it's horrible. So by not telling him, you save everyone the pain of it. So I can see the argument there.
But everybody would look badly on you for not telling him and just murdering him. At least if you're straightforward with him.
Screaming, "Don't kill me," that bit's worse.
Again, it's both. Same thing with everything with this discussion about this fucking episode. There's no right answer.
Yeah. Because
there's absolutely no way to resolve the situation in a good way.
Because I was going to go into, there's a level of respect by telling him to his face that I'm going to save my officers. And she says, you both are in there, right? She's like, I'm going to save you both. Come with me. That's respectful to everyone's situation, even if it's respect at the point of a gun. But it's still respect. If you did it in his sleep, it'd be not lack of respect to this new entity to tell him. Because it's hard for her. It's worse for her to tell him because he'll forget about it when he's become them. It's a whole thing. So yeah, I mean, there's some movie when like they put the person to sleep before they're out of air so that they die peacefully. That's another argument, you know. Is it? Well, yeah.
Yeah. Dan B says, "Isn't this exactly what some of the greatest episodes of Star Trek do? Make you think hard about a really complex issue. Mark of a good episode, in my opinion." Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
100%. I would not have put Tuvix on this list, but somebody super chatted for it because I think that is one of the better episodes of Voyager for that very reason.
Yeah, it's super crazy distinct. Yeah. But you know, it's one of those acts just like Cisco trying to massacre a planet of civilians by bioweaponing them. Worst thing they could possibly do, like, but it's narratively logical and yeah, it's crazy.
How
many votes does it have in the? Yeah, okay, so it beats Tuvix. It beats a Threshold. Interesting in the poll. Interesting.
I think it's just people consider it bad because they don't like the decision that was made, or they don't agree with it, or they think.
Yeah, for sure.
It has nothing to do with it being bad because it's super well written, amazingly acted, and a fantastic concept.
And a great guest star. He absolutely owns that.
Yeah, and it should not have been on this list, but somebody super chatted for it, so we have to do. This is a viewer's choice, so
it is, and which I love because if we had brought, that's why we went from being us generated answers to you guys. We might have just the worst 20. And it'd be easy. This is a really fun way of contrast debating, really unusual choices. This became really fun because it's like, it wouldn't be on the list. We've had several debates because of this, right? Really interesting. So yeah, super interesting. All right, next.
Next is Tab Extra.
Thank you.
50 Krona. TNG, Chain of Command. Great episode, but Riker was done so dirty. Now, you're talking part 1 or part 2, or just both?
Both, I suppose.
Because I think they're really good episodes. I think Jellicoe
was right. Hashtag.
He was right, but he didn't go about it the right way. Riker was a whiny little bitch,
and then some.
And the way he responded to Jellicoe proves that he was not done dirty. I hate part 2 for the torture and stuff. Not a hugest fan of these 2 episodes, but I like the idea around them. And they are very well written and very well done. So I have no complaints with either one, really. I really hate watching part 2. And the more I watch it and the older I get, the more Jellicoe's right. He's got a job to do. He doesn't have time to coddle Riker and the fucking crew. He needs things to be done his way. And Riker's just a whiny little bitch. So, those are my 2 cents.
Well, it's one of those few things where everyone has a point of view that works.
Yes.
But my mum and dad disagree with sometimes my films when people could not like each other. But you're not obliged to like everybody you work with. Even if you're in Wonderful Starfleet, you could just not. Now you could not.
I don't like Sam. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Like literally 5 minutes ago, I was like, this fucking guy.
I saw. But you can. But you know, But you shouldn't dislike people in Trek. But it doesn't mean you have to like them. So he's such a different sort of captain. I'm sure loads of captains. But I mean, boy, if Cisco came in, he'd be a different captain. That I think. You know, in a situation like this, right? I'm not saying a similar day. Cisco's way more hard-edged than Picard, and Riker would probably disagree with a lot of Cisco's choices because he's this hard-edged. Janeway would come in and do a hold-him approach. I think probably like Janeway more, but they're both bit more science-orientated than Cisco. You know, but I think this is an F because the torture is so wonderfully filmed. The first episode's a good setup. It's not the most interesting episode in the world, but it's a good setup, and it's more of like a 2-part movie. And I'll always give him credit. The fact that the actor who played the Gracian was hired 2 days before because the guy stopped, didn't know his dialogue, read it off cards, and is pitch perfect on reading off cards. That is a testament to a successful actor that could do that and sell it 100%. Because wow,
it's also Gorkon, so just for the record. But yes. What? How did this get in? Area 51, I got in because this is viewer's choice. You guys pay to put these in, so we have to oblige you. But it is absolutely an F because it is a good episode. Episodes. Cusker says, I was going to super chat $5 to move Chain of Command down to F. Sorry, tab extra, but saying Chain of Command is bad. It's just crazy talk. Agreed. David Warner, thank you. I was trying to remember his name. And there are 4 lights. Correct, Ozzy. All right, guys. 51 likes, which is fantastic. 50 of you here. Can we hit 55? Has somebody not hit that like button? If so, please.
I'd like to hope so. Yeah.
We have 58 votes on the poll. We should probably close this poll. Which episode was the worst? Code of Honor, 60%. Threshold, 19%. It's 21%.
Interesting.
Very interesting. All right.
I'm going to...
Rick, move it up to D so you get the super chat. No, Dan, I'm not going to do that. You can super chat $5 to move it off the board because it shouldn't be on this board. How's that?
I mean, neither should the TOS one, honestly.
I know, but nobody's talked about moving that, so... But if he really wants to super chat in $5, we will move Chain of Command right off the board because that's the way it should be.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah. Benjamin Stone, I'm late to this, so S tier is the worst episodes and F is the best. Not the best, the best of the worst that people super chatted in for, but yes.
Copyright.
S is the absolute dog shit garbage.
Copyright Reddit Media. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Alright, so I'm just bringing 2 random ones that I just found.
Tab extras super chatted in.
Oh, super. Literally.
Chat.
Tid in. Yes.
Tab extra with 50 krona. Star Trek Voyager The Thaw. Might be the worst episode of Trek I have watched. I felt shame when a coworker walked in on me watching it. Is that the one with Fear?
You dicks.
Is it? I'm asking.
I don't know.
It's
either that one or the one where they're in that giant space whale and they hallucinate. Because that would be a Thor.
No, that's... I forget the name of that one, but it's not The Thaw.
Yes, it's the clown.
Yeah, it's fucking garbage. I know Sam absolutely loves it, so I'm just going to let him talk about it. I hate it. I think it's boring and stupid, and the resolution's not bad. But...
Yeah, The Thaw, a tremendous episode, psychological thriller, great set, great use of actors, Harry Kim, great episode, amazing guest performance by this guy. He absolutely owns it. What essentially a boring-ass costume and simple makeup. He owns it beyond belief. You feel super sympathy for the guys that are stuck. It's genuinely kind of creepy in a successful way. And then when they bring Janeway in and they play the holographic trick, the ending is superb. With Janeway's wonderful acting, a depth beyond, because she's sympathetic for what is essentially a computer, but it's obviously so sentient that it can feel in this context, and forces it to die in its own form, and yeah, it's excellent. It's one of the most memorable Voyager episodes. This is an F, easily. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I hate it, personally. I don't like watching it, but Janeway's really good in it, and... But yeah.
Laughable Larry, if you want to PayPal us 200, because YouTube won't get 30%, you can call it our anniversary present for 10 years, and I'll just start getting Discovery content in it. Trekyards@hotmail.com.
Let's put all of Discovery in S tier. Is what we would do.
Call it, like I say, call it a 10-year anniversary present if you'd like, because that would certainly help some Vegas things that we've just done. Trekyards@hotmail.com.
Or you can super chat if you don't want to PayPal. Doesn't really matter.
We just lose 30%.
I know, but
I'm just saying. We would lose 30%. But yeah, so I put in 2 random ones, Stuart, that I was like, these exist.
We'll start with Voyager.
Yes, Emanations.
Yes. The next emanation. Interesting. Again, an interesting premise. I don't hate the episode at all, actually. They think that they're going to the next emanation, and when in fact they're just being beamed to an asteroid. So, this, yeah, and Carrie Yeah. Don't really remember the specifics around the Harry story, but
yeah, it's one of the first Harry episodes. They're on this planet, and then there's a transport thingy-mabobby, and he gets beamed. He gets reverse beamed with some guy's corpse, and he wakes up on an alien planet, or alien time, or alien universe. It's very unclear. Just another place, which actually could be another universe, right? It's super unclear. And he's like, and they're like, "You have come back from the heaven." He's like, "Hi." And they eventually, they all think he's come from heaven, and he's like, "No, I came from a cave with corpses." And everyone's like, "Oh god!" And they dispel that. And then this guy who's very convinced he's going to go to heaven, and it's a thing because I believe he's ill, and him willingly doing this gives his family more resources, so they're better. Cause he's not that ill. He's got a terminal illness that he could live for a long time, as we would all do in our life. But he's like, "I'll sacrifice it," and then Harry's like, "You're gonna be a cocoon in the cave," and he's like, "What?"
Yeah.
And at the end, Harry takes his place. He gets beamed, and then Harry ends up a cocoon. And he is dead, and there's a wonderful sense of, well, are we just living in there? Like, this could just be how this is, right? And there is an energy field, so actually their consciousness could get beamed into the ether of that planet. It's actually kind of fun and vague, in a good way. And Harry's good in it. He plays it really strong, considering he's just entirely ruined their society. What do you think, Stuart? Where would you place it? I just picked a random episode.
probably C.
Really? That bad?
Yeah, it's not an enjoyable one to watch, really. The religious aspect of it is interesting. I don't know. I just want to say C.
Yeah, I would have said sort of medium D, because I think it's pretty good, or a bit vanilla, but not too bad. Singularity? Hey, if you want to put it C, but a low C, it's definitely way more memorable than...
Well, if you picked it, so I'll just put it whatever you want.
Yeah, D's fine. I just can't just pick the right episode. But yes. I didn't think it was fair for me to actually pick.
I'll put it at C for you.
Okay.
All right. What is next? Chris Parnell, member for 26 months in the rank of lieutenant, says to remove chain of command from the board. Absolutely, thank you.
And there you go.
Dan Ben, £2, Enterprise, Strange New Worlds also don't like Singularity.
Yeah, that was a very confusing super chat. So I just searched Singularity, and there's an Enterprise episode called Singularity. I'm going to go with that, I guess. It's not a well-formed super chat. So this is the one where everyone goes crazy and perfects a certain thing. Reed does the chair. No, Trip does the chair. Reed does the phaser, the alarm, which ends up being red alert. Because Reed alert. Yeah, I was skimming it thinking, what is this episode? And I'm like, oh yeah, all that stuff.
Is there a picture?
I'm trying to find that summarized episode, which is kind of hard because it's kind of a lot of.
Let's do the chair at the end.
That's on. Yeah, that's what I picked. Yeah. Thoughts. I know.
Great picture.
Because on the Enterprise scale, it's not bad, but on the overall Trek scale, it's not good. Because it's Enterprise, and it's a very vanilla Enterprise episode.
Just trying to remember what everybody did.
Well, Hoshi's cooking.
Yeah.
And then the other two, that was the two, and I think a
Archer
speech.
is doing something.
Speech. He's doing a speech.
Yes, his speech.
And all the things end up great. Like, it almost kills them all, but it does end up. They all do really good things. I mean, D, I guess, because it's more memorable.
I think it's D.
Like, it's fine. It's one of those things where it could be better if it was like a TNG episode with a cast that had more distinct characters. But I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'll put it at D. It's not bad. All right, tab extra. Puts in 20 krona. Voyager, Barge of the Dead.
Yeah, that's a season 6 one with a CGI barge.
That's where B'Elanna dies.
I guess. Does she actually die, or is it kind of?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Yeah.
Did she talk to her dad in that one as well? Mum.
Yeah. I am skimming. The visuals are cool. It's great to see B'Elanna do Klingon stuff because she never, ever, ever does. Yeah.
Plus, learning more about the Klingon mythos and their afterlife is interesting.
Skimming. I think they find a piece of metal in space that's actually Klingon, but then it becomes a blood stain, which doesn't make sense. And then Tuvix stabs her? I don't know.
I agree with the super chat, low D.
Yeah. It's so visually interesting, though. They made a full barge, full batch of Klingons. I remember everyone pissing her off and going weird. But yeah, it doesn't ring as strong as it should do. Maybe they needed Tony Todd to come and be an epic Klingon again, or something.
Mm.
I mean, I'm looking. I mean, I'd recognise all the Klingon guest actors pretty much. It's all being people that I know from other things. Like, yeah, I think these, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Huh.
Okay. Chris Parnell, £5. Star Trek Enterprise. These are the voyages. Poor into the series. Just a producer's ego trip. It's already on the board.
Yeah, we had a whole big debate about it. Where did it go, Stuart?
It is at sea. Because it's a fantastic idea and good premise. And bringing the actors back and recreating TNG sets. One thing that really sucks is the death of Trip and it being a series finale.
And the pacing is weird. Because they swapped between real story and TNG story. Yeah.
But I like it that it adds an extra layer of what's going on with Riker during the Pegasus episode.
It's just...
You might want to highlight the one you have. But yeah, it's not bad. It's just bad for where it was put in the series. So
it's just disrespectful and should have been way better with just a bit of a different story.
And don't kill Trip.
Or kill Trip, and the next episode, because it will be the last, is like 2 years later, so we get Romulan War, and he's alive again. Like, wow, it was all a trick. Like, do that or have him dead for half a season. Have T'Pol actually have his kid, have the kid be 2, have him come back, use a plant, great drama with Trip, an X refits arrive. All the things, right? All the things.
Yeah. Unhighlight your box, please. Your Voyager picture.
Oh.
Laughable Larry, $5. Course Oblivion, Voyager. That's a fucking fantastic episode of Voyager. It's easily an F. What do you mean one of the worst episodes of Star Trek? This is fucking great. The Demon Planet ship, guys. You don't know what's happening, and then Voyager shows up at the end to this puddle, these little. It's great. I don't have anything else to say.
Would you like to bitch slap to the audience, Stuart?
This is in the absolute best of Voyager. Done. F.
It's so weird to then say that. We're so used to going good.
Okay, off the board then. If somebody wants to put it off the board, because it shouldn't be here. It's like chain of command.
Sorry, it's just amusing that the language I'm to use on this and give it an F.
I know.
That amused me greatly. Where's the thing? Yeah, no, this is an interesting choice. This is... I think we should definitely do a top of each show, because this is going to be one that will be a high. I remember seeing it for the first time, and it's such a hard-hitting reveal. Yeah. It's really... And this is one of the most impactful emotional endings of any Voyager episode in the entire show, despite not actually being our crew, because it fully commits to the bit. The makeup is amazing. That's horrible. The fact that we have this amazing warp thing is really cool, and they're getting home much quicker, and Tom and Thing got married, which is a lovely foreshadow because they can undo it and it doesn't matter. So we see a giant plot point, and then Tuvix dying, and then they're all dying, and they become goo, and they die, and it's the ship is dying but not quite, and they almost live but don't. And had they just not done a thing, they would have got to meet the other crew. Yeah, this is one of the best of Voyagers. Probably in terms of like you have sci-fi premises that are amazing, like Year of Hell. Well, anyway, you have sci-fi ones of Voyager that are great. This is a character piece that's just so emotionally charged. This would be probably a top 10 character of Voyager.
Laughable Larry says I didn't read the title of the video. All right, well there you go.
Yeah, I mean this is a double F.
It's not on the board. I'm just gonna not even put it in F because.
I feel personally insulted by this. Sure.
Tab extra, 50 krona. TNG Shades of Gray, episode 2 or season 2, episode 22. Eclipse show. I don't remember it. Where Commander Riker relives.
Oh, I remember it. It's memorable. So annoying though.
Yeah, it's an S.
Why is it an S versus an A?
Because every fucking clip you see makes you think, wow, I'd rather be watching that fucking episode. That's why. It shows you highlights how bad it is. Next.
The problem is this is like the Menagerie in that they had to do this for money. So it's not as good an episode because of it.
But it saved Star Trek.
But it saved the season. So they deliberately made it as good as they could with like $20 in 2 days. But there's other ones where they made it bad, either they don't caught it. I would still give it an A because I think they meant well. And it's not their fault.
Mitigating circumstances. I can't even speak today.
I think that's an important thing. Because I think it is. And as you always say, the 7 minutes of new footage, not bad.
It's not bad. It's
All 7 to 10 minutes of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Eric Martin, member for 23 months at the rank of Captain.
Oh, amazing.
Because I'm sure Cap wants TOS the Empath on the list. Yeah, fuck yeah. On the list somewhere. And the Way to Eden. Well, Way to Eden's already on the list. Mm-hmm. The Empath is absolute fucking hot dog shit garbage.
I remember thinking this is an interesting visual, but I haven't seen it in a very long time.
There's good visual. Really? There's like black.
Well, no, this.
You see Kirk hanging there.
Well, no, but I remember the Black Void. I remember the scenes like she can't talk, and I remember some they're doing something interesting with what they have. Is what I remember.
Yeah, a lot of people love this episode, and I struggle, man. I struggle. She's got to take your pain away voluntarily.
Cyborg.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know where to place this because I just want it to go in S, but.
I mean, A or B. I mean, have to be an A or a B. I think S should be.
We'll put it in B then because I get what they're trying to go for, but it just so underdelivers for me. I just hate the acting in it. I hate that Jem doesn't talk. I
do remember thinking she was not the best choice for that. It's distinct, but there are better actors for everything.
Put it in B.
Oh, Dan doesn't like the Robin Hood episode of TNG. Really?
He doesn't like which one, sorry?
The TNG Robin Hood episode.
Oh.
That's a classic.
Cupid.
It's a classic. It's weird as hell.
It's great.
It's a classic. I mean, there's the iconic lines. I mean,
but he also said he hated Shirley, so he hates those kind of comical, out of character ones. So.
I can imagine Dan's very like a straight man at parties, just like, I'm here. Drink. Thank you.
Do not make me laugh, or I will hate you.
Oh, I will not laugh. Do not try, you will fail. Yeah. Interesting.
Very interesting. All right.
Next.
Laughable Larry, $5. Eloquium.
Elogium?
Elogium?
Yeah,
sure.
Wait, was that Orville?
I have no idea. It's not ringing a bell with me.
I think it's the one that Kes is pregnant.
Oh yeah, that's garbage.
Yeah,
Anything with Kes, any episode with Kes is kind of shit. So.
Oh, the one that she's fighting with Paris and Neelix about almost dating. Yeah. That's a good episode. I like that. That's fun drama.
No, it's kind of shit.
And her end episode's great with Crazy Her. That's a great episode.
That's a good episode. Yes.
I do like the one with Gary Graham. That's a good one. See, this is a good Kes episode, but Kes is not a good character, and that's the problem.
It's well acted, I guess.
Yeah,
there
exactly.
you go. I'll say something nice about it.
It's weird.
But the Thomas, right, or the Paris and fucking Neelix, it's just fucking annoying.
It is,
it's
yeah.
childish and stupid.
It is, yeah. Great. I think this is very possible. It's really dumb, but this is very Star Trek, right? Two aliens who are going to commit to fully. An alien life form we're interacting with and learning about is biomagnetically making another alien life cycle go wonky. Insist on the like, it's really Star Trek. It's super, like, doesn't mean it's going to work, but it's super Star Trek. And I commend them for trying.
True.
If she was a better if she was a better, well done thing, it would be better. Or if it was in season 7, right? Just experience. I mean, I would say C, because it is dumber than Threshold, but I don't think there's much bad in it. That'd be my vote. What would you say?
I'd say C for all the same reasons.
There we go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Interesting.
Oh my goodness.
We're
Tab
not
extra.
thought of that one, so good shout.
Yeah. Tab extra, 50 krona. Subspace Rhapsody. I like it, but I bet a lot of people hated it. This is going to be a tough one. Fuck.
Of course, you know what still I'm trying to find?
What?
Oh, come on, you know what still I'm going to try and find. There's only one per episode that has the most controversy.
Oh, yeah, the K-pop thing.
Yep. Pick the visual. Man.
Okay. I'll talk about it while you do that. I like that they try to do something different. I like that the premise for why they were singing makes sense in a context of sci-fi. It's not just a musical for the sake of being a musical. Some of the songs are pretty good. The singing from everybody was great. They're all very talented. Yay. Did I need it? No. Did I enjoy it? Yeah, I actually smiled a few times during it. Me and Sylvia had a good time watching it. And even this K-pop scene made me laugh out loud. So I understand the cringe. I understand that people don't like it. I get it. I rather enjoyed it. It was a nice diversion. We haven't seen a musical episode of Star Trek. It was kind of interesting to see. It's done now. We don't need it again. Thank you very much. At least the premise was good. It wasn't like Q or anybody came in and snapped them into doing it, which would have also been a great premise, honestly. But the whole subspace anomaly thing that was making them sing it's an idea. I didn't hate it. There you go. That's my take on it.
I thought you were going to be more positive about this. Again, it feels like you were trying to find negative things, but you want to say nice things too. Kind of one.
I do. I enjoyed it. Like I said, me and Sylvia really got a kick out of watching this.
So this is just me. I find singing on TV somewhat hard to watch sometimes. It varies, but like often if there's a random music, I'm like, it's just I just don't enjoy watching people sing. Often can feel too much. So for me, half of the songs in this are really good, half are not really good. And that's personal preference. Like, you like different things. I think Spock's song is really good. He does that super well. It's low key.
But I also like musicals.
I love Great Showman, but that's a very specific sort of musical, right? And Grease I like too. I like a lot the first song where Why Are We Singing? Really fun. But then La'an is too long, although she's amazing in it. The one in the Ready Room is not good. The one on the walking corridor is not very good. This is ridiculous. It's fun, but it's stupid, and they should have done better things with the bridge, but that's, again, they're out of money, whatever. So it's an episode of absolute contrasts, but it's a really tremendous idea, better done than we give many credit for. This is a horrendously cringy moment, but it's trying to be.
Yeah.
So...
The original plan was to have him sing Klingon opera, which would have been hilarious as well.
Yeah, that would have been... I mean, it would have changed the entire episode, probably. Honestly, I want to give this only a D, because I see some cringy parts of it, but I think it is a shockingly effective version of the story that I want to give them more credit for. That'd be my vote. Yeah.
Yeah. D is perfectly fine with me.
Even if you hate musicals, there's plenty of normal talking.
Yes.
Which is not always the case.
Eric Martin, $5. DS9 Profit and Lace.
I don't even remember that one.
Everybody's been talking about this in the chat the entire fucking time.
Oh yeah, sex change, really bulky costume, caught for some reason.
Yeah.
It's more the costume I have a problem with, how weird it's proportioned.
Yeah.
I can't remember the reason for this. Let me skim it again.
Yeah, somebody's coming on board. Wants a woman. I don't.
Wait, it's Moogie and Grand Admiral, Grand whatever. So they come on board.
Grand Nagus.
Are they getting married? Maybe.
Unhighlight your picture, please.
Does he pretend to be Moogie because he has to? Because it's the same costume.
Yes, something like that. She's not able to do it, or doesn't want to do it. I can't remember, and it has to be a female that the person.
Yeah. It's another Ferengi personage in Change V, and then ends up being quite liking, and the chase. Yeah.
It's in the lower echelon probably for DS9.
Well, the thing is, it's a Ferengi episode, right? Like they're ridiculous and they do ridiculous things.
And Benjamin Stone says, "Why did Quark get clothes? Because that was part of the person that's coming to meet her is interested because she wears clothes. She's a Ferengi female that wears clothes.
Yeah, Moogie. I mean, she started the craze. That's literally a multi-season plot point.
It's like a kink or a fetish for him, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, it is weird. Let's be honest. No, this is super in keeping with Ferengi. They're a weird subset and they do weird extremes, and it's a very. I mean, I skimmed it. There's almost no humans in it. It's really hardcore. And in the era you can give people boobs in 2 injections, it would be super easy. There's no we haven't seen that more often. I mean, I honestly have no negative things about it particularly. I'm sure it's cringe, but it's trying to be. It's Quark being a lady. That's going to be cringe. Of course it is. So I guess D for the same reason as the last one. It's got some cringe, but it's not bad as far as I can recall. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yep, D it is. All right. Eric Martin, $5. Enterprise, A Night in Sickbay. So much fun wrapping on episodes. So A Night in Sickbay, Porthos is sick, I believe.
Yeah, Porthos gets disease from a planet because he either pees or eats a plant, if I recall, and then he has only to apologise to the race, which got his dog hurt, and because he's staying there, he gets more grumpy, and then he almost tries to seduce T'Pol because he's sleep deprived and doesn't work, and that's the end of that arc. And at the end, he does end up capitulating and doing the thing to the aliens. He's like, I'll put my pride at, I'll just do it because I'm an adult and this is more important, if I recall. And it's a really good Phlox episode. He has his bats and stuff, and it's like, as an amazing prop piece, a bloody. That's obviously nothing about that's real, but that's an amazing prop to build. It's horrible, but it's amazing. I mean, this is a very experimental episode. It's a really good Archer episode. It's the lowest key one possible. His dog's ill. And I believe that he put bat's brain DNA in his brain, if I recall.
Something like that, yeah.
And it's a natural end to the T'Pol sexual tension, which I do remember. I did a thing recently for a fan film. And there's a scene where T'Pol is like, oh, yes, I've noticed that we have sexual chemistry. Maybe we should work it out one day. And I was like, huh? No, shouldn't do that. And it's like, that was a thing in season 1, because they're the leads, I guess. It's like, okay. No, I mean, I think F, honestly. I don't think this is a... Again, Enterprise, it's not one of their best, but it's very memorable. And it's experimentative, and it's certainly... You would not have done this in TNG, Voyager, DS9, or TOS. This is super specific to Enterprise. This is one of their true, this is them in a nutshell. A bloody witch doctor gives bat DNA to the captain's dog. It's great. It's dumb, but it's great.
Affable Larry, $5. The Fight, probably my top 10 disliked episodes of Voyager. Already got it. It's in C.
Why? One of your top worst ones.
He then goes on to say, "Can I change it to Alice then?"
Yeah, why is it one of your worst ones? Because we don't remember it, but I don't dislike it. And I'm getting Alice now. I already have them still. What am I saying?
So Alice.
So it's the reverse discussion that we had from Tuesday. Where's that creepy there it is. Boop. Why is it bad, Stuart? Why is it bad? And guys, on our final 5 minutes, so one last one and we're good.
I don't think it's bad, really. It's not the most enjoyable for me to watch, but I don't mind it at all. I kind of like the idea that it's got to pass the ship off to somebody, and it then causes a lot of problems for Tom. It's not bad. I don't know what to tell you. It's not my favorite. It wouldn't be my top 10, but it's not bad. It's pretty good for Voyager, so...
Yes. It shouldn't be on the list. It's a... Well, I mean, certainly I would say probably top 30 Voyager episodes for me, because it's so well performed. It's like it's a DS9 episode, right? It's super characterful. It's super simple. It fully commits. Yeah. And we really get him and B'Elanna really bond in this episode. So it's really a DS9 episode but with the sci-fi element of the ship and it's actually really nice both. And Robert's brilliant in it. He's very good. I like the casting of the lady. She's commercial creepy sexy, more creepy than sexy, but that's intentional, right? It's not like the bedazzled hell Satan who's more sexy. That's the point. Like she's kind of like creepy. And the guy who's the alien who sells it's a famous character actor. He's in Trek a few times. He's good in it. He's gentle. He makes sense. No, I think it's an F. I think this is absolutely not in the ranking for worse. There's nothing bad about it, and I really like the end. That sort of like slightly nebulous. Is this lady ship actually going into this vortex and ascending into her own personal universe world? Like, I love that mystery factor. Mm-hmm. And it's cool to see this little ship. Tech is important, as in contrast. This little ship is as powerful as Voyager in many ways. And I buy it the way they frame it. That's interesting. Yeah. I like that.
Laughable Larry, one of the only times I've disagreed with you guys in years. Fun times.
Why?
Oh, sorry, you can't always agree with everybody.
But let us know. Like, I'd love to know why you don't like it as much. John Fleck. I read it as John Wick originally, so I'm glad I well, he's a footballer that takes over the eye. Oh yeah. Oh, he's a Silic. Jesus Christ! Yeah, he's Silic.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. He's a Cardassian. He's 3 Randomadians, and
he's a Cardassian. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's the he's the legate who works with Section 31 in the Inum Aga, that one. He's that guy who was really good, and he's the Romulan who gets Geordie's visor and makes him an assassin. That's 4 really strong roles. Wow. Yeah. Good for him. Shit. Good for him.
Well, guys,
you know, I'll throw one in that is a famously you might dislike it, and then we'll call it end. Okay. And I think you'll know why I've picked it when I put it down. But yes, join me, maybe Stuart, on Saturday for a Drunk Yards with Marie. Marie is joining us for a Drunk Yards celebrating her 30th birthday. We're going to do some games and Pro Ranked, which will be fun because, you know, see a non-Trek / living with a Trekkie for years kind of thing. Yeah, join us about 30th, and of course help the channel out for our month. Makes a big difference to us as well. So yeah, join in, but probably about 1 p.m. Eastern for a good chunk of the day. Hopefully we'll get absolutely blasted. That's not up to us. It's up to you. Join in to talk Trek. Ask Marie questions. I'd love for her to get some fun questions. They can be as silly as what's her favourite character look, or who's hotter, Riker or whatever. I'll do that, right? It'd be kind of funny. Stuart, do you pick Skin of Evil?
I pick Skin of Evil. Thank you.
Skin of Evil. I want to throw this in because this is kind of a controversial one, right? Thoughts?
It's not a bad episode. It's kind of frustrating at times. Deanna in the shuttle is not super great. Those scenes, kind of hate those. But honestly, Armis is kind of terrifying, and he definitely is a threat. He kills Tasha Yar. I mean, that's a big thing for Star Trek, to kill one of the main cast. So it shouldn't even be on the list.
Well, I wanted to throw it in there because the set isn't very good in the grand scheme. And it is a bit graphic, and that could be a bit too much against what Trek is. It's like each episode getting ripped out is very antithetical to Trek, and that will lose points. This is a very graphic episode for them, so that could be the same metric. And like I said, those scenes aren't. They're creepy. They're effective, but they're not very good. Like, they're not fun to watch, but I think they could be written better as well. So I want to throw it in as like a, you can dislike this episode for various reasons. Is it bad? Don't know. I would still give it a D. I think it's flawed.
Okay.
But it's a good episode, but it's flawed. Does that make sense?
The Metamucil and toner ink that they use to cover Riker in, like, that's just a cool visual. Man.
Yeah, that stunt guy went actually into it, and Riker's head actually went out, and but like I say, it's flawed. And I want to give it some points for flawed.
D. Where is it here? Tab Extra says set is good.
So it's not good.
Said it was not good, yeah.
Good. All right, another wonderfully successful live. Thank you all very, very much. This has been a lot of fun. Really great suggestions. I feel like this also deserves a part 2 later on down the line, because there are plenty left, as with contrast, because there's been some obvious ones here, although we've not agreed fully, which is fun too. Yeah.
And Eric, yes, Code of Honor is on there. It's the first one in S.
And can I point out, I said at the start, don't go easy on, don't just throw Discovery out. And we have 2 Discovery, 2 Trek shorts. That's that. Hey, you didn't throw the easy options in, so well done.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. We will be continuing our best of episodes next week, so tune in for that, and we'll see you guys in the future.
And you'll see me and Marie on Saturday. Maybe strip, probably not. Maybe, who knows? You'll see. Until then.
He's Commander Cut.
Kevin Foley.